Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Wednesday, the 14th of April, comes to you from London. And we've seen quite a big fall in the dollar in the last 24 hours, so that's quite interesting. But still, of course, in terms of the pattern on the medium-term chart, we are still at the point of being above the previous lows. So the medium-term trend is unaffected. We're bullish above the cloud, but short term we are just seeing that sell off there, but it is within trend. Remembering this is my long term, my medium term, and my short term view of the market, weekly, daily, and 60-minute charts with the corresponding point and figure targets. If we look at the euro, we're seeing an improvement in that dollar weakness, so euro returning strong there. And the Japanese yen, dollar falling back against the yen there as well. And that also means that sterling is up against that weaker dollar, nudging the 138 mark as we speak. Against the euro, sterling sitting at 115, just teetering along this 115 level, having fallen away quite sharply last week. If we take a look at Bitcoin, nudging the $65,000 mark now, pushing higher all the time. No big surprises here. Lots of upside targets. The charts are bullish for crypto. The S&P 500 index up 0.3%, and the Nasdaq last night was also up. Now just pushing back and making new highs. So that's significant. The futures this morning are flat. The S&P E-mini not much change. And the Nasdaq E-mini up 0.01%. So flat is our call for the open today. Looking at the market volatility, the VIX was sitting below 17 still, so market's not really fearful in any way. The FTSE futures down 0.3%. The DAX in Germany is little changed, down less than it's up less than a point, which means 0.01% rise there just ticked in. And if we look at the CAC 40, we're up here as well, up 1/3%. So European markets edging higher, the CAC making a new high. That's significant. The Japanese market was down 1/3%. The Hang Seng was up 1.23%, and if China was up, and the Sensex recovering some of its ground, up just under 1%. So still quite a bad week for the Sensex with that big fall that we saw on Monday. Virus numbers still a concern there. We'll take a look at virus numbers at the end of this session. The Aussie market pushing above the 7,000 level, just still has work to do to make a new all-time high. Just taking a look at some of the commodities. Interestingly, wheat pushing higher still. Corn hitting its upside target, looking strong. So we are seeing a lot of these, and breaking out of that consolidation pattern, we are seeing a lot of commodities rising. Gold up to 1744, pushing higher, back into short-term bullish territory, and silver at 2546, again pushing into short-term bullish territory. Copper was up further, and if we look at yields, they're coming back now. So US 10-year yields at 1.63% off the bottom there, still looking pretty strong on those long-term charts as we speak. Taking a look at the energy mix, Brent crude breaking higher this morning, up 1%. Interesting looking at the 60-minute chart. There is quite strong resistance still at this $65 mark. So that's really for 65.50, let's say. We do have targets to 66.20 and 67.60. So it does suggest that crude will break higher, and we are finding support on the cloud, but it is still early days, and we do have targets in both directions. But at the moment, the upper hand seems to be winning out. The daily chart will give us some clues. WTI is back above the $60 mark, so that's looking bullish as well. 57 was the support level that we were looking for there. If we look at US Nat Gas sitting at 263, we were bullish US Nat Gas out to clients this week, had that jump yesterday. That's very much in line with what we were expecting. Coal, we were neutral, and little change here. We are range bound, and emissions we were actually bullish on Monday. We've risen, but we do have this new downside target developing, so that's just quite interesting on emissions. But the medium-term daily chart looks spectacular. MBP up just 1% this morning. TTF up as well. The trend continuing here. Good upside targets, looking strong. If we take a look at German power, sitting at 57.05, holding that 57 euro mark. Again, a really strong medium-term trend there. And if we look at Nordic power, up 0.5%, just holding its gains there as well. Taking a quick look at the COVID stats, we're seeing here still on cases, Germany still rising, France steady but rising. A lot of these charts not showing any signs of a slowdown in the third wave. UK still pretty low at half of one case per million. Germany sitting at 2.83 and rising. France still 10 times the number of cases in the UK in terms of the population. Spare a thought for Turkey though. Turkey is really rising and in the news lately, but Turkey is really seeing very strong rise in the cases, taking that third wave past the previous peak. So there are a few countries that are doing that, but you can see that most countries have suppressed their peaks by lockdowns. Hungary and Turkey have not. And if we could take a look at the fatalities, the deaths in the population, so this was cases. We're seeing Turkey's cases really rocketing there. Germany also just pushing higher. Still around 10 times the UK. France around 20 times the UK. So still the comparisons are pretty poor. But that's the Turkey charts are the ones that are worrying for the moment. That is it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.